Hey! You guys need any help? It's one of those freaks! Whoa! No!
We recently got to go hands-on with Infamous Second Son, albeit for only half an hour, and if we're honest, Sucker Punch's next-gen semi-sequel felt uncomfortably tepid instead of scorching hot. The initial concern with Second Son is that mechanically it still feels like a PS3 game. This alone isn't a disaster though, and that similarity should be enough to keep fans of the series engaged. The lack of change could be seen as reassuring or disappointing, depending on how much you want Infamous to stick to a familiar template. The biggest, most obvious change is Delsin Rowe. The third instalment in Sucker Punch's flagship series stars a handsome 20-something plucked straight from the pages of an X-Men comic. Likewise, Second Son's central theme of state officials determined to expunge anyone born with superpowers will also feel familiar to Marvel fans. The game's version of Seattle is strewn with airport-like security gates, scanning citizens for any sign of supernatural abilities. Meanwhile, the city is littered with demonstrations of people calling for those with powers to hand themselves in. In terms of story, this institutionalised fear of so-called conduits marginalises them, and they become a hidden presence within the city. It's a familiar story of a misunderstood outcast, think superhero against the state. Unfortunately, this doesn't inform the gameplay. There's no real fear of being discovered in Second Son. At worst, Delsin will be pursued by a platoon of city forces until they're wiped out. Thankfully, it's all bolstered by a strong script. The voice acting is great, the writing sharp, and there are some genuinely warm, witty moments. The presentation is slick enough to have that uncanny Pixar-like quality of being so good that you rarely notice it. The dialogue also helps add some character to otherwise predictable missions. The demo suggests that Infamous maintains its go there, kill them, activate that challenges, which itself hinge on a lot of the semi-spontaneous play loops that you create yourself. What does that mean? Well, en route to missions, Delsin frequently crosses paths with patrolling police vans, as well as on-foot agents. These vulgar, yellow-trimmed enemies are easy to dispatch, but can be a threat in numbers. In terms of offense, Delsin's bracelet extends into a God of War-like chain whip, which can be looped into combos. There's a stickiness to the fighting against groups which recalls Arkham City, and Delsin is able to jump between enemies mid-combo. While it's never as effective as Batman's crowd control methods, it's still noticeable and very welcome. Delsin can also fire basic energy pulses and energy grenades, which come in either smoke or electric varieties. And because of some of the tricky mini-bosses, you'll need this diversity of attack. Knights are special DUP foot soldiers who can leap across the night sky by riding on a crest of materialising rock. They can also encircle themselves in a shield of rubber and even anchor Delsin to the ground by firing shale at his legs. Think Iceman but with rubble. There's also a more testing minigun variant of the Knight who shakes up the straightforward action. Over time, Infamous has become synonymous with moral decisions, but it's hard to tell how important they'll be here. Taking out 3 DUP soldiers will often result in the 4th surrendering. Here, players can either tie them up or finish them off, but again, the consequences aren't yet clear. A cutscene at the beginning of the demo also gives the player a red or blue pill option, with either route opening up different challenges and variation on Delsin's appearance. A neat touch is that the logo on his denim jacket changes depending on how malevolent he becomes. Is all of this enough to get us excited? Not quite. At present we're hoping that this is an unflattering demo rather than a revealing one, but having played only 30 minutes of a game so crucial to PlayStation 4 fans, it's impossible to decide yet. We'll have more news before the game's release on March the 21st, so subscribe to CVG now for more on Infamous Second Son as we get it. Thanks for watching.